No, I thought I switched my pickaxe and it didn't. I just shattered the ice. So, how have you been?
Good. I had my PA class over the weekend. That was interesting.
Okay.
Um, yeah, so she's um like a assistant director in the industry and stuff like that in the film industry. And she does these like meetings every once in a while for like people that want to get in the industry and stuff like that. So pretty much to get into the industry, you have to start as a PA, depending on who you are, like a production assistant. So you're pretty much like doing everything. Um, so it was 14, 15 people there, so it was interesting. Um, but yeah, it was all about like what a PA does and like all that stuff. So that was fascinating. And then on Sunday, we went to a bar to like do like a social kind of thing, and the guy that um he recommended me the program. He was there, and we were
Hey.
like, "Oh, hey, nice to meet you." And then it turns out he knows my cousin. So it was like, okay.
Small world.
And and then yeah, and then one of the other guys, he's also a PA as well, lives in my town and also goes to the place that I volunteer at. And there was a sold out metal show a couple weeks ago, and he was there, so we could have crossed paths. So we were like, oh wow. So now we are probably going to be doing something, and there's another metal show this weekend, so he's probably going to be there as well.
Tiny
So
world. Jesus.
yeah, it's a very tiny world.
Wow.
And yeah, and it was interesting. So yeah, I think I'm in the right place specifically, so we'll see. So I yeah, so it's been yeah, so yeah, Sunday was good, Saturday was interesting, and it was interesting seeing like there were a ton of people like my age ish, so that was nice to see. Couple younger people, but it was cool to see. Some people were like, I came from corporate and then I just had a massive panic attack and I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. So now they're trying for a career change kind of thing. So um it was interesting.
I know the feeling.
So Taco, you want me to do? I'm done with the walls.
Oh, okay. It is polished deep
Deep
slate.
slate, yeah. Yeah.
Yes. So we will need lots and lots of cobbled deep slate.
Hobbled deep slate, you said?
Yes.
Deep slate bricks.
Nope.
I have polished deep slate.
Yes. That's what we'll be placing.
Sounds good.
It'll be just like the andesite.
Just like the Andis. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I see the patterns here.
Cuckoo. Uh, for me, I had a bit of a small world uh thing happen. One of the people that I work with, well, where we work in the same building, uh, they graduated from the school I went to.
Hey,
I was like, hey,
same year and everything, or different year?
different year. Um,
Okay.
we're like a, I don't actually know if we're a generation apart like everybody else, but um, I'm pretty sure there's a age difference. But then they said that I went to the school at the same time that their sister went to that school.
Ah, that's cool. That's
I was
funny.
like, crazy.
Are they younger or older?
They're younger, and I don't know if how much younger their older
Ah,
sister is. But for us to go at the same time, it's either because I went directly after college, and that directly after high school. So they're either the same age as me or older.
Interesting. It's crazy how it works. That works and stuff like that.
Yeah, and even my roommate, like, um, it's a college that's out of town. Me and my roommate like lived in the same city, and I was like, oh, they paired us together because of our interests and our where we're from, and like that was like a perfect match. So I was like, oh, so that survey is important to fill out properly.
Yeah, you don't want to like fill it out randomly.
Yeah, you're like, it's a survey, whatever. But yeah, it seems like this is the week of Small World.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was pretty crazy, cause we were at the bar, and I've noticed something about myself, like in general, like I don't mind like loud spaces and stuff like that, but if I'm like trying to talk to people and network and stuff like that, like being in a loud bar is annoying. I don't like being in like loud. So, but it was like, so I was essentially trying to scream to these. Everyone was screaming at each other, but like, and it was just the whole thing. But yeah, it was kind of funny because we were just sitting there, and the woman that runs the program, she was like, oh, like this guy, like she was talking to someone, and like I saw her talking, and I was like, oh yeah, that's, and like um she pointed at me, and I was like, what's this? And then it's like, oh yeah, this is the guy that recommended you the program. And we both looked at each other, and I was like, oh yeah. And then yeah, and then we went to the same school and everything and stuff like that, so he was ending just as I was starting.
Ah,
So it was, yeah, so it was interesting.
yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. Like, just random encounters. Let's see. Do I have any cobbled? Yeah. I'm gonna use this. So, didn't I have 6? Oh, okay. Oh, did I just put down cobbled? Dang it. Yeah, just put down cobbled. It looks so similar.
It's weird. But yeah, and then it was funny because um the subway and stuff like that, because I'd take the bus to the Port Authority or whatever. And then the subway was like it like up this hill, down this hill, up these stairs, down these stairs, and I was like, and then I was on the right, in the right area, but in the wrong platform, so I just had to go up. But it was just like I saw this train coming, and I was like, "Is this the right one?" And I stepped on it, and I was like, "No, this is not the right one." And I stepped off in it, and I was like, "Okay, it was good that I didn't go on this one." But it was just like, and then on Saturday, I like to get there. I like to get to places early, so I got there around like 10:30ish and stuff like that, and it started at 12:15. So I messaged the woman, and I was like, "Oh, I'm here, and like, is there anything like?" And the place was closed. I just want to make sure I'm in the right space. And she was like, "Oh, you're early," like. And then when we talked, and she was like, "You made me so nervous for a second because I was like, is it 12 already?" And I was like, "Nope, just 10." So I was like, "Okay, well."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like getting because it's like I like to take my time.
Yes, I like knowing where it is and being there and being like, okay, like this is where I'm supposed to be, and yeah,
Yeah, get a feel for everything. I don't like
yeah,
get there and they're like, all right, let's start, and I'm like, Yeah, the guy that I work with, he says like he doesn't like rushing as like the first thing in the morning because he feels like his entire day will just be rushing, trying to catch up. And I'm like, you know what? That's a good way to explain that feeling.
yeah. Being late gives me like massive anxiety.
No,
What?
2 circles,
Well, I'm doing like the.
because we don't need this.
I'm laying down the track, so to speak.
Yeah, but you'll be putting down 1/3 of stuff that you need to pick back up.
Oh. So I messed up over here then. Okay.
If you do. Yeah, the front one you can lay all the way down.
The one not touching the wall.
Yes.
Okay. Because I was getting kind of like, what am I supposed to do here exactly?
Yep. If you have any questions, just ask. I'd rather you ask 30 questions instead of
Assuming.
laying down the whole thing, and I'm like, nope.
Yeah, it started snowing on Saturday, and I was waiting for the we're gonna cancel, and it never came. So, but it was like okay, I was like I'm glad it didn't cancel, but it was just like I like to like complain in my own head sometimes, and just like please cancel, and I was like okay, no, it's not canceled. Okay.
Yeah. It's a little warm, and I'm like, keep going.
Look at all those chickens.
Kiki.
Hello.
How are you?
Hello,
Yeah, I'm
Kiki.
good. Hello, hello. How are you two?
It's been a
Are
small
we-
world for us.
Oh yeah.
Huh? Small world.
Yeah.
So I told Taco this earlier, but I had my it was a 2-day production assistant for film class on Saturday and Sunday, and Saturday was fine. It was just like going over like what she did in the industry and stuff like that, and her coworker slash friend and stuff like that. And like she started off in the like independent world and moved on up into like the actual union stuff, and difference between union and independent is very different. But on Sunday we had a social at a bar, and the guy that introduced me to the program, he was there. We didn't know that he was there at the bar, and but until the lady that ran the program, she was like, "Oh, this is the guy that because when I applied for the program, she was like, "Oh, like mention who like invited you and stuff like that," and I mentioned his name, and then she was like, "Oh, like this is the person," and we both looked at each other weird. I was like, "Oh yeah," and it was pretty funny. We went to the same school, and he was finishing as I was starting. So it was like this like, and he knows my cousin. So it was like this whole thing. And then another guy who was also a PA as well. Um, he lives in my town and also goes to the performance center that I volunteer at. And he was there during like the sold out metal show a couple weeks ago. And he might be there again for this week's metal show. But it's like, it was like a whole thing, just like, what is happening?
That's crazy.
Yeah, and then for me, I found out that somebody that I work with went to my school. But they went to my school like 6 years after I did. And then when I was like, hey, we're both alumni from the same school, I went at this year. And she's like, oh, my older sister went at the same time you went. And I was like, what? Do you have any small world?
Nope.
Uh,
I don't talk to people and get them to remember that. Yep, but did not my inner circle of co-workers forced to be friends? Then no, I don't care.
That's always, yeah, that's funny. Like, forced to be friends. It's like, it's true. Like, you're
Mhm,
working at a place that no one really likes, but you have to survive somehow.
Yeah, and out of that survival, we've all bonded over how much we've hated it, and now we're friends. So
yeah, trauma bonding. Yeah.
yeah, 100%. So unless it's within that group of people, then no, I have not had any interactions like that. Okay, I'm doing restock on my supplies. Because I am very low on my supplies for the bridge. Oh, you know, before I fill up this chest, I might as well move it. Move it over here first.
Ooh, excuse me.
Yep, move it right here.
So,
Am I doing this right, Taco? If you,
let's see.
like, if you keep going forward, you'll see what I'm doing, I guess. Am I putting it around the glass?
So the glass was made before I decided
Right.
how the thing's gonna be. So the bottom piece of glass is gonna be changed to deep slate, and then the middle piece of glass is gonna be changed to polished,
Polished? Okay.
and then
I wasn't sure if you wanted to keep it there or not.
oh no, it's gonna be replaced.
Okay, so I might as well replace it now then.
Okay. Oh,
Turn that in the I saw that Taco Bell and the people that made the Choco Tacos or whatever those things are like.
Choco tacos?
Yeah. Those things that went out of, I guess, business or they discontinued or whatever. I saw that they apparently struck a deal, and so now Taco Bell is gonna be selling those tacos, ice cream things.
wait. I thought Choco Taco was a Klondike brand.
Mm.
Let's see.
I don't know. I just know that Taco Bell struck a deal with, I don't know if it's the exact people who make them or somebody else who also makes them, but they struck a deal and they're gonna be selling those tacos that don't be sold in the store no more.
Huh.
Yee.
So, Choco Taco is salt and straw ice cream, apparently. But they are teaming up for the summer. Klondike discontinued after 40 years in July 2022. Is expected to return this summer. Their version, so it's probably going to be a different version.
Okay.
But you know, similar but different.
The new version will include a hand-pressed waffle cone filled with cinnamon ancho ice cream, dipped in chocolate and topped with toasted brown rice. Salt and Straw said in the Instagram post, the new Choco Taco will be served with custom sauce packets, including chocolate chili, cinnamon, wild berry, and mango jalapeno. The treat will also come with cheesecake dip.
Why? Why? What? Why couldn't they just be like, oh, we're just gonna sell them? Why did they have to make it all crazy? Now I gotta try it.
The outlet reported that Taco Bell has worked with Salt and Straw to develop an ice cream taco shell that does not get soggy.
Oh, wine sleep.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Dang it. I was like so not on board. I was like, I've had a Choco Taco before. And they're like, oh, but it's this and this and this and that. And I'm like, no.
It's everything you're not used to.
Fine, Taco Bell. Guess I'm trying it.
Oh, I can't remember, but Taco Bell did a you know how they like people like show off like the new things they brought. I can't remember how long ago this was, but I completely forgot about bringing it up. But Taco Bell did one where it looked at like how Apple does when they reveal their phones. And it was so funny to watch. It was showing off every new thing, like all the new stuff they were coming out with.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was really funny.
Oh!
I need
Oh!
to. I'm spring cleaning at the same time.
Oh!
I got
Oh,
random junk in my chest I don't need.
You okay, Taco?
Yeah, I'm fine.
I'm waiting for the message of Taco dying.
I thought he sneezed. That's why I heard like random noises.
Pretty sure he's dying. And or
Um,
in the process of dying.
I dug
Taking
through the
damage.
wall and there was lava.
Told you. That's exactly what those noises sounded like.
Why? Why is there lava here?
You go there and
This is one source block of lava for no reason?
yeah, it takes after the nether.
Oh my god. Well, that's disconcerting.
Taco, where do I stick dirt at? Never mind, I found the chest.
Lava.
Do we have a chest for it? You want to know? Not even. Ain't dealing with it.
What?
Hey, nothing.
Oh my god.
Back to spring cleaning. Well, not spring cleaning.
Winter tidy up.
Yeah, I don't know. At the moment, we're in that false first spring kind of thing until second winter hit.
I don't want any more winter.
I like it as long as it's like not like 10s or 20s. It's like if it's like 40s and 50s, it's fine.
Yeah, I like that too.
It was 40s and 50s, and then it was like, how about we be 30s for like 3 days? And I'm like, no, don't do that. It's like, I already turned it down. Sorry, it's gonna be cold for 3 days. I'm like,
I like getting to experience all 4 seasons every day I go to work. I don't know how to dress half the time. Go to work, gotta go outside, start up my car because it's like 30 degrees outside. Get off of work, I gotta hold all the stuff I wore going to work because it's like 60 degrees outside. And it's too hot to wear any of it.
So, Taco, I have a question.
Mhm.
So, for this one, I know you want to do like, 2 holes and stuff like that, but like these 2 connect. Does that matter or no?
Where?
Right here. Like these connect right here.
These are off.
Okay.
These,
Yeah, because I somehow
no, actually, I need
somehow they got off because it's supposed to be separated by 3, but then it would be on the thing. So I'm thinking somewhere down here there's another one that's like off.
Oops.
put that there. Okay, cool.
Or is it
Or
that one of these needs to be doubled? It needs to have 2 streams of lava. I think that's what it is.
I'm gonna grab regular deep slate.
Yeah. And I'm gonna make it right here.
yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, because when it gets to the corners, it gets all messed up. And that's what I'll do right here.
Wait a minute. Is there a point of having the train track over here since you turned what used to be a railroad track into an iceway halfway through the actual train track? Or are you doing something with this? Like, how is this?
Where?
You have the railroad system from the village that connects over here right beside Signature's house, but it's supposed to go where the iceway that you have. Is there a point of keeping the railroad tracks down if technically part of it's ice? Or
the one that goes in front of the old iron farm and behind the gold farm.
Yes.
No, it's not needed.
Okay, I'm picking it all up then.
Cool.
Yeah, because for some reason I had a whole bunch of train tracks, and I was like, why do I have a whole bunch of train tracks in my inventory? And it was because I got rid of them from when they were over there where I put the wall. So I went to go place them back down, and I was like, wait a minute, this doesn't even go anywhere. What's the point of putting these here? Yeah, that's why I was like, I'm just gonna ask if there's even a point of keeping them. My pickaxe isn't strong enough yet. It breaks every other train track. It needs to be better. It's so sad. Miss my maxed out enchanted tools.
Wait. Oh, in your world?
Yep.
Oh.
Miss the power that I have.
You'll appreciate your magic more.
No, I won't. It just gets the job done faster. I don't know if I'm not ready to spend it. I'm not ready to spend. Oh my gosh, I forgot that I put freaking fence gates for some reason over this wall over here. We ran out of fence posts.
Kiki had an epiphany.
Sure did.
Okay.
Ah.
Okay. Let's go get the tools. 3, 6, 9.
These spots are gonna be empty, Taco. Is that okay, or do you want me to fill these up?
At the bottom?
Yeah.
It gets replaced with
No, I know, but like
Disregard.
where the slabs are, it's empty. So do you want me to just go until where it's not where it's not full and stuff like that?
wait, under the slab?
Yeah.
Or
So like if
to the
if
side of
I-
the slab?
yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah, like that. Like, do you want me to just fill everything up, or like fill this half up, or the bottom row, or just leave it?
There should be something down there.
Well, it is, but it's not connecting to the bottom half. So if I just do this, then no one's gonna know.
Nah, put something down there.
Okay. That works for me.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
And then you want me to get rid of the bottom glass as well?
Yes. Are you using silk
Hmm?
touch?
No.
Uh,
You want me to use your silk touch? Silk touch?
yes.
Okay. Okay, I'll grab mine.
I'm actually running out of glass, and I'm like, man, I'm gonna need to craft some more glass. You're over there, smash, smash. Oh god.
When I come over here and I forgot that we had a whole chest filled with miscellaneous stairs that I need, stairs and walls that I need.
Oh man,
Oh, what
man,
is-
man. Alright. Put in this double. Then everything will be back aligned.
Inventory's full. I literally just said I'm doing restock day. It's filled with all this stuff I need to restock to continue on with my wall.
Taco, you need glass. You said
Yes.
I have 2 stacks and 61.
Okay.
I'll bring it with me.
There you go.
Put these over here. Where did apples go again?
With the banana.
Oh, here it is. Goes with the carrots.
Apples and bananas. Right, right,
Carrot.
right.
This goes
Apples and
with
bananas.
sticks.
Apples and bananas.
There we go. Oh, wait, and then the bones go in the bone chip. Woo! Organization. Time to make. I got a ton of hoppers.
Man.
Oh, there's more stairs in here. These are
This
mine.
world is gonna be so heavy.
These are mine. I don't know who needed them, but they're mine now.
Taco, I have some presents.
Okay.
It's glass.
I had to check my inventory.
Oh, of course, yes. I
Taco-itis
forgot.
is kicking in for Taco, but that's his thing.
Yep. Luckily, I placed down a bunch of blocks and I had space. And now my inventory's full again.
Taco-itis at its finest.
Yep. And I just solved the problem. And now I go back
The fudge? Can I not?
to what I was doing. Which
Does bamboo? Is bamboo not considered? Oh, wait a minute. Never mind. It was not what I thought it was.
cool. All right. Let's
Just take that, take that, take this.
pop this.
Boom,
on
chicka-da-ba-ba.
there.
And bada bing, bada boom. And a la la dee, da la doo.
Mm.
16. 2 of these. 3 of those. 27 of that.
Oh,
86 of
Mhm.
this.
the Oreos.
1.
Oh yeah, how'd it taste?
Block.
So the Space Dunk Oreos, they taste like good cotton candy. Oh,
Cotton candy.
oh shit! Oh
I
shit!
thought it was right.
Taco, what's up?
I found more lava.
It was nice knowing him why he lived.
Ooh, I can
Died
scoop
at
it
such
up.
a young age. Forever shall hold peace and remembrance in thee.
Oh, I can put it.
Where
in the
are you, Taco?
walls. I can put it
Oh.
in the walls.
He's in the walls.
Wait.
He's in the goddamn walls.
Titans.
Like for somebody who doesn't like darkness, you really should light up your front lawn. Keep
Huh?
things from spawning. So you really should light up your front yard to keep things from spawning.
Front yard? Light it up how?
I don't know, torches?
That's
I mean,
ugly.
There's a lot of ways that you can light it up to keep your front yard from being blown up and creeper infested.
It's fine.
So, don't say I didn't warn you.
Only one person's been blown up by a
Haven't
creeper
either.
in the front yard.
I'll take my torches back then. See how
No,
many more last.
no, keep
Nah.
them.
No, they're my torches and I need them now. There we go.
These These are my torches, and I need them now.
Let's see if this is mine. This is mine.
Wait, are you taking stuff that was
This is
there
mine.
before?
Hello, Warwick.
But
How's it
I
going?
literally just
How
put
are you today?
Mine.
Got the wand stream, the one and only stream.
Wait, Kiki,
This is mine.
Kiki, what are you doing?
And this is mine.
Kiki, what
There
are
we
you,
go.
Kiki? Did you just darken the yard?
I didn't do anything. I returned it back to its original state from when it was about 5 minutes ago. This is mine. Okay,
I
time
got
to
46
restock.
torches you could have had.
Restock day? Nah, it's not my job. Like you said, only one person in the history has been blown up on the front line. My priority is don't eat the village right now.
Kiki.
Torches need to be used here so I don't see more zombies coming out of nowhere for some odd reason.
Kiki.
Where I still haven't figured out where they're coming from.
I got half a stack.
Are they
of
coming from in
torches.
the houses? Oh, this is your place, then. Hey, my job. I think it's in here.
See, what I was doing was not making it safer. What you
And
did,
led to it already not being safe to begin with.
you just made it more dangerous.
I didn't do anything. I returned it back to the state it was before I literally said that you said that it needed to be. Whoops, I fell. Needed to be fixed. Hence when
Okay,
whatever
so you
happened.
made it safer and then
between-
restored it to as dangerous as it was before.
Yeah, as in what it
So
was
no
when we started
change.
the stream. Basically.
Okay. Okay, that's fine. I thought you like put some torches down there a long time ago, and like for a while it's been safer, and then I thought you were like, nah, I'm taking my torches back home and made it more dangerous.
Oh, no.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
I'm making my wall look nice. Not dark. There we go. Torches on this side. And then come up here.
There is literally a little pocket of lava just in one of the hallways. It's crazy.
Wall. This, that
Really?
wall.
Why is there a torch there?
When the chest isn't big enough.
Ooh, excuse me.
I don't know how to separate it. Let's stick there.
Double chest.
there. No, I want it all. I want all my stone in one chest. These steps here.
Shulker boxes.
Man, that would be nice if somebody had the end already done. Oh, dang, I didn't put that away. I didn't have a moment then. Okay, what I need is.
Oh, yeah, the Space Dunk Oreos.
Mm,
So they taste like nice cotton candy.
mhm.
I don't like cotton candy or Peeps because they taste like food coloring.
Mhm.
And so this was way nicer. So it's like this. It tastes like colors, like
Tastes like colors.
Tastes like
Yeah.
colors. Okay.
Yeah, it just tastes like colors, and then like
Taco's losing it.
then it started popping. Like for some reason, I read that it had Pop Rocks in it, but
It didn't process in your head that it has Pop Rocks in it.
no, not until I like ate it, and I'm like, that was actually pretty good. And then my mouth was like, and I'm like, oh yeah, Pop Rocks. And then like the back of my neck started popping, and I'm like, ew, I hate this feeling. And then it went away, and I was like, I'm gonna eat some more. And I grabbed like a couple. So Yeah, if you like Pop Rocks, it's actually pretty good.
Okay, so that's done. Do the outside of this as well.
Man,
I haven't had Pop Rocks in a long time. It's been a while.
Oh, it's been many a decade. Oops.
What do I need now?
But yeah. I give it a thumbs up.
I need a crap ton of andesite.
Where did you hear about it, Kiki?
Hear about what?
The Space Dome.
They've been out for a while, I think.
Where I hear all my news from.
TikTok, I'm
Newspaper.
guessing.
TikTok. Where I get all of my news from. The one and only
Are
news
we
station. I get it
covering
from
up
the
these,
Talking
Taco?
Fish.
Wait, what? Key? I'm
I
away
get it
from
from the Talking Fish on TikTok.
Oh, like SpongeBob?
Yeah. I get all that, and then I get all of my news-related stuff from the lady that tells me the news from underneath the desk. And I get all my food reviews from this guy who does a whole bunch of food reviews. And I learned about all of Crumbo's new
me to
cookies from
do
this
it like
voiceover
this,
guy that has a
or-
very deep voice.
Okay, 1 second. Okay, what?
Do you want me to lock it or just leave it open
Wait.
for the tunnels?
Well, this tunnel's too low. I think this was made before we put the ice in. So, ignore the tunnels that are on the floor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want me to just cover them up or just?
Leave them because they're gonna be in between the columns.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
I found that there's a crumble cookie closer to me than I thought.
Aren't those like super duper expensive now?
That's why I don't. Yes. The answer is yes. If Kiki has to be like,
I guess the answer is more depends on what do you consider expensive.
that's always the answer.
Because really, in my opinion, they're just really big cookies. They're
For
more of a treat than anything.
for me, they are a splurge.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where it's like it's not something like it will never be my favorite cookie because I can't afford them to be my favorite cookie. But if I see a flavor that I'm like, you know what? I have no idea when this will ever be back.
That
And
honey
I
bun.
And it's like, and I just got my tax return, so why not?
That honey bun. Oh my gosh, what's to die for? This week they got. This week they apparently have a tres leche cake one, but I hate tres leche so much. And it's like that's what I need. I need a crap ton of andesite.
Let's see.
No tres leche.
For some reason, I don't like their chocolate chip. Like, I like HEB chocolate chips better. Like their fancy chocolate chip. I don't know if it's like, if it's because it's like
So a 4-pack of crumble cookies near me is like $20.
Jesus.
Whoa! Okay, yeah, that's expensive for you. It is not $20 for me.
This is through DoorDash though, so
Oh, okay.
Okay, I'm like,
I
oh
was
my
like,
gosh, I would
Jesus.
never eat crumble cookies if it was $20 for a 4-pack.
For some reason, I was like, yeah, that's why I don't go. I don't even know how much it is near me.
Let me see how much is a 4-pack. Where's my app at? Tuck, you know exactly why I got an app. I have let me
Sling it
see,
out of my
one, I got
pocket real
3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30, 33, 34 food apps on my phone just for free
Jesus.
stuff. Literally just for free stuff. I don't even use half of these.
And you know
I
what?
open them once in a blue moon.
I can't talk bad about that because literally the last thing I posted in the Discord.
See, a 4-pack for me is $12.98.
That's still.
It's
Let's see.
I mean, it's cheaper doing it that way because I usually just get one for everybody in my family. Because if I do a single, then it's $4 and it doesn't make it. It doesn't seem worth it when it's $4 for one cookie. I always do a 4-pack.
I'm all about the like per cookie price, and I'm like anything more than $1 per cookie, then I'm like it's too much.
What size cookie you talking about then? Because $1 cookie can be. It depends, because sometimes $1 could be either a good dollar size or not a good dollar size. Like now, if I want to compare it to the BJ's near me on $1 cookie, oh hell yeah, I will buy BJ's dollar cookies all day long. Let me see. Let me see if I have a picture of it still.
Yeah, I'm like, what is the diameter?
Oh, trust me,
Of,
this
of-
right here. If I still have a picture of it, it's 100% be worth
Where's
the
my
dollar.
tape measure? 1 second.
You gotta, yeah, oh my gosh.
Well, I have a roll of tape, but I don't know how big a roll of tape is.
It's a roll of tape. Oh my god.
What? It's a measurement.
Let's see, these are our TwitchCon.
Give me my card.
pictures. In front of the TwitchCon picture, this is Reno and Vegas again picture. When did BJ's open up? I don't remember. Did BJ's open up last year? Oh wait, this is back in Gatlinburg now. I think that's too far. I don't think I have picture. Do I have any recent picture?
I'm just gonna say.
Okay, picture there.
I'm gonna say it's like 5 inches. 5 inches across.
5 inches across. Where's my tech measure? Let me see.
And that's the HEB ones, and they're basically $1 a piece.
Yeah, no, that puts that's so little compared to BJ's.
But it's about the same size as crumble, right?
No, BJ's cookies are way bigger than crumbles.
Well, no, I'm just saying like crumbles is about 5 or 6 inches, right? I'm thinking more 5.
Yeah, I can say that. I can agree with that one.
Yeah. So for me, I'm like, even though crumble does way fancier cookies, like $3 a cookie, I'm like, if they're like 2 a cookie, then I could say I would go there more often.
I don't know. I feel like once again, it's the aspect of going out and it's at a restaurant.
Can't you get them delivered?
Well, yeah, but it's the fact that it's at it's the fact that somebody else is making it.
So you always eat them there? Or usually?
What are we talking about?
The crumble cookie.
The cookie crumble.
I always go and pick up if that's what you mean.
So, what do you mean by that going out aspect?
Why? Okay, hold up. The villagers are staring at me, and it's very creepy. I didn't appreciate it. It's the fact that like because somebody else is making it, it's not gonna be as cheap. Is what I mean. Also, I found pictures, which the pictures still don't do justice, but I'm just gonna post them anyways.
Still,
like, I go pick up my pizza and I'm still like $10 and I'm good. Don't run with a bucket of lava in your hand. Oh God. And I immediately fall in a hole. Come on. Oh, I can't. I need. Oh, did I run out of food? I need fish. What do you think about the addition to the elevators?
I didn't do an addition. I did not see. I didn't see any additions that I looked at. That I
There's
saw.
been a few night times. Just been living life. How do we have so many villagers? There's more villagers than beds.
Yeah, because they keep wandering off. And somebody's like, where'd Charlie go? Oh no, guess we gotta make another one. Charlie number 2. And then Charlie comes back. He's like, hey, where'd my bed go? And they're like, I ain't got a bed now. And I'm like, fine, I'm leaving.
Well,
Oh, where'd Charlie go? Make another baby.
I thought
Charlie
they
number
already
3.
made more depending on how many beds there are.
Yeah.
Then they can't make more
bed-
if they're still locked in there.
No, beds versus people. So if there's like 16 beds and like 16 villagers, they're like, oh, everything's right in the world. And as soon as somebody wanders off, they're like, oh God, we need another person. Got a new baby. And then the other person walks back and he's like, hey. He's like, oh, well, you finder keepers. It's not your bed anymore.
Interesting. The fuck? Oh, there you go. But yeah, but now that I think about it, VJ's cookies are.
Oh, did you put the
In
picture
my opinion, yeah, I put the picture up.
Okay.
I think that's their dollar cookies, and I think the best like size comparison in my head I can think of
Oh wow, that's
is-
huge.
is that they fit exactly perfectly inside of a quart Ziploc baggie. Like they're
So-
just the right size where they fit. You can slide it perfectly into it.
So that is the size of this burger place's oatmeal chocolate chip cookie.
Mhm.
Except this one's like twice as thick.
Yeah, like BJ's is like me and my mom's guilty pleasure that we go to after the gym. We'll go to the gym and then we'll leave and go to BJ's to get a cookie.
Let's go make some calorie space for this cookie.
Yeah.
Just even out the day. Yeah, if that cookie was somewhere nearby me, I would have a problem. I think. I don't know what it tastes like, but it looks good.
Oh, it's amazing.
When I lived in Illinois, there was Insomnia cookies. Which I guess is like the new crumble, but it was always like the cookies were relatively cheap and they were pretty big. I don't know. I was just like, whenever I was like, you know what, I could go for like a cookie or not like something sweet, I guess. And it was in the middle of the winter and the ice cream shops were closed. But so and they were relatively cheap, so it was they were good too.
I could go for a little sugar combo real quick. Yeah. See, if crumble cookies were that big, then I'd be like, okay, $3 each is fine.
Okay, yeah, I can see that. But I don't know. Like, it's like, what's the best way to say? It's like a not upgraded, but more well done place. Cause like I know in Chicago they have like insomnia cookies or something like that.
Yeah, the one did
Yeah.
Juan just say that one?
Yeah, I said yeah, they have Insomnia cookies.
They're okay.
Yeah, and they're relatively cheap.
Yeah, but they're nowhere near the size of like crumble cookies.
No. But they're like good in like a pinch.
Yeah, so I feel like it's like depending on the place, depends on the air quotation quality, and that's why they like charge more. In their eyes. In your eyes, you might not think that they should be charged that much, but in their eyes, they think they should be charged that much.
They can charge whatever they want. I am voting with my wallet, and I was like, make it bigger, and I'll give you $3 for that.
Well, nowadays, with how society is and corporations, everything, in my opinion, needs to be bigger for the price we're paying at this point. Shoot. My gosh darn milk that I buy, I don't get more milk, but yet it's gone up in price.
Yeah.
How could you need more glass? Because I have some.
Yet. Well.
I have 1 stack and 3.
Okay. If you want to put the glass up, you can put it on the sides and in front.
All because I want to drink healthier milk doesn't mean I gotta get charged an extra 50 cents on top of whatever I'm already paying for it.
You know, healthier people have more money. Isn't that how it works?
Yeah. That's why they charge so much.
Okay, well then what about the people who just have diet restrictions? It's not their fault that their body is all like, you can't drink this, so you gotta get the lactate or the lactose-free ones. Or you can't even just drink that one, the lactose-free, so you gotta get some type of nut milk, blah, 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 this and that.
Just
Why
don't
they
drink
charge
milk.
so much for that?
You're not a baby. You don't need milk.
Dude, it's like it's taking me off. I'll go and see something I usually get, and the next thing I know, I come back and now it's like 20 cents more expensive for no reason. I'm like, I'm not getting more. Shoot, some people can even say that the size of it went down. I'm like, why the fudge of it being charged more if the size ain't even the same?
Yeah, they call that shrinkflation,
Yes.
where they like try to sneak it by because if they'll keep the price the same, but then they'll like make it a little bit smaller just so you don't notice. Yeah.
Oh, that's even the other thing. Okay, so there's like a carton of silk almond milk, and it's like I think a carton is like 32 ounces. I think is how much is in there.
I thought you were about to say dollars. I'm like, you go to the wrong store.
It's like 32 ounces is what I think it is. And then they just introduced a new size, and I was like, "What the fudge? What is this?" And I looked. That thing is like a dang. It looks like the carton of the half and halves that I see at Sam's Club, and it's like 1 quart. And I was like, "Why the fudge would somebody want 1 quart of milk?" And it's literally like maybe 75 cents difference between that and the gosh dang half a gallon. It was like brand new size. I'm like, why? Oh my gosh. I just remember this other thing. Did you know? I learned this out. Did you know that shredded cheese that you get from the grocery store is actually supposed to be eaten within 3 to 5 days of being open?
Yeah.
I was such a shocked by that.
Yeah, if you actually like read the thing, like the milk that I get, they're like best if eaten with it, like best if used within 7 days. And I'm like,
Yikes.
I don't use milk that often, and I bought this big old half a gallon, and I'm like, it's gonna take me like 2 weeks to like, if I try really hard to use it all. But yeah, and then the cheese that we get from Sam's, it's like 42 slices, and it's like best if used within 7 days. And I'm like, I'm not eating 6 slices of cheese a day. What are you
You're just
crazy?
not trying hard enough, Taco.
Is that or shoot? Sometimes I'll be like thinking, oh, buy in bulk. Bulk is cheaper. Get a big 32-ounce bag of cheese. I'm not eating that in 3 to 5 days. Maybe a month or 2, but it sure ain't about to be 3 to 5 business days at this point.
Yeah, fuck. Okay, I did it again. Don't come out here, please. Okay, thank you. Yeah. Sometimes I think I'm like, with certain things, like if you get it in bulk, it's like, should I get this in bulk? There's only 2 of us. It's like, do I need 42 slices of cheese? It's like we're eating quesadillas for lunch and dinner, and it's like, we'll get close to it. Cool. All right. I need this right next to the other tool. Nice. Break it and then. Yes. Cool.
You talking to yourself?
I am thinking out loud to the loud.
You're talking to yourself. Cool, that's all I need to know.
No,
I'm going back to
out
making
loud.
andesite.
All right. Whew. So I got a free bike from an in-law.
Did you finally get it?
Yeah, from an in-law, and I had to get a new seat for it because all the seats that look like a normal bike seat are terrible for me.
Yeah, they destroy your back and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah, every time I try to use one of those seats, I end up injuring myself. So I got a seat that's just like a big square. Um, and it's good. Like it's comfortable. It's like sitting on a tiny ottoman. And yeah, I don't understand why, but it's like at the gym they have two seats. They have like two bikes. They have the regular bike that you sit on like a regular bike, and then they have this sit down bike. And I couldn't use the regular one because their seats hurt. So then I started using the sit down one, and now that I have this bike and I got the new seat,
It's ruined. All the receipts are ruined.
I have no idea why this bike is so much harder than the other bike. Like, when I was on the first bike, I could get through the 20-minute like session. It took a while to like be able to get through it, but once I was able to get through it, then I could just do that until I got injured. And then when I switched to the other bike, I was able to do like I could do 30 minutes, like an hour if I wanted to. But I didn't get the same feel. Like getting through the 20-minute workout as I was building up and like getting used to it, it was fun because like you build up some sweat, you exert yourself, and then once the thing's over, you're like spent and you're like that. You just feel relaxed. Then I got used to it.
A bit of an answer
Mhm.
as to why gym bikes are harder than regular bikes and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
Training bikes resistance increases the harder you pedal because the resistance is created by a flywheel. A flywheel creates resistance that has no limits, similar to air resistance. However, the handles do not move on a training bike. As a result, you do not get the full body workout. So,
Interesting. That sucks. so yeah, I guess the resistance doesn't build up at the gym. So it's like, oh, I guess the resistance, yeah, it doesn't build up at the gym. It just goes to wherever you set it. And
right.
it's like, I was like my normal, like idle, well not idle, but like my normal cruising speed would be like 6, and then I would go up to 8 because if I go to 10, then I get too tired. So I would just bounce between 6 and 8, and like I would speed up or slow down depending on what the video said. And I did that throughout the whole summer, and it was just nice. And then it got cold, so I stopped. Well, no, it got cold, and then the bike was too easy, so I switched to doing the weights and stuff like that. And then now I have the bike at home, and it sucks because it's like I only do a 20-minute routine on the bike, so I have to travel. It's like it takes me 15 minutes to get there, like 10 minutes to get, like 5 minutes to get ready, 20-minute workout, 5 minutes to like pack up, and then 15 minutes to get home. And I'm like, oh, that's an hour, thanks. So now that I have the bike at the house, I'm like, oh, perfect. I can just go home and then go from the bike straight into the shower. And I can't get through like 5 minutes without being winded. And I'm like, I turn the resistance all the way down, which I think is down. And I'm like going, and after 5 minutes, I'm like, and I'm like just dying. So I'm excited for the challenge, but I am like dumbfounded as to why it's so much harder than what I was doing. It makes me feel like the gym was lying to me. Cause like I go there at the gym and I'm like, yeah, 6 and 8. I can do that for 20 minutes and knock it out and be just like a little bit winded, but then get out and just feel strong. And I get here and I'm like 5 minutes and I'm like, I gotta sit down.
It could also just be the bike itself. Like maybe the gym bikes are different and the bike you have is different style, so you have to do it differently maybe.
Yeah, like how you said the flywheel, and like it builds up resistance instead of it like me setting the resistance and it doesn't change. Like it's a whole different beast, and I'm like, I wish it wasn't as difficult. I wish it was a little bit harder than the other bike, because then I'd be like, oh, okay, cool, I still got some work to do. I get on this bike, and it's like, what do you want? And I'm like, I was just trying to do 20 minutes. And they're like, how about 5? And I'm like, dying. So, I don't know how long it's going to take me to like build up to this, but it's like the first day I was sore for like 3 days. And that was just like when I first started like doing the weight like the strength training at the gym. So I see a pattern. It's like be sore for 3 days and do that every other day, and I'll slowly like get to a point where I don't know what to do next because it's too easy. So over the next few months, like maybe 2 months, maybe, I'm just gonna go after it. And yeah, it's like I wish I was more excited. It's so much harder that it's like almost not fun. But it'll become fun in like a couple weeks, I guess. I am kind of stuck because I have 3 buckets of lava in my inventory, and I don't know where to put them. Is it lava all the way down? Don't tell me it's lava all the way down. Okay, it's not lava all the way down. Perfect. Ha. Whoops. Whew. So, have y'all ever said a word and then realized its origin and then felt really dumb because you didn't know that's what it was?
Not that, but just you see a word and you're like, I don't know, like you think it's said this way, but it's actually said another way. And then you're like, oh, I guess that's how it's said, I guess. And then ever like for the rest of the time you see that word and it's like, oh, it's spelled differently. Like epitome and like lingerie and stuff like that. Like I see like lingiri and like
Epitome.
epitome is like weird. I don't know why.
Yeah, it's like epitome.
Yeah, epitome. Yeah, and I'm just like, it's okay. And yeah, it's just like it's that never like, and then like there are a couple of others where I'm just like hyperbole, like hyperbole and stuff like that. I'm just like, okay. So I don't know.
So. Oh, I was like, what's that noise? I don't like that the things are getting set off.
Oh, the the whatever the
Something things.
deep dark whatever.
Yeah.
It's right there.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm gonna turn around and things be like, you need any help? And I'm like, ah! Run straight to the lava.
Well, you don't have to worry about the warden because apparently it's farther out. So
Okay. Uh, Oh, that's not the right block. I feel like I can hear his footsteps.
okay.
Man. Hee hee.
Yes.
Are there any words that you've had a huge realization with?
What?
Like, are there any words that you've had a realization with? That,
As in,
like, a word you thought was pronounced a certain way, and then you finally realized it was the other way, or the true way it was, or or like with one where it's like you think it's pronounced a certain way, and then you find out the way it's really pronounced.
not that I could think of off the top of my head.
Okay.
Only thing I could think of similar like that is a coworker name because she's technically foreign, and I kept thinking it was I was thinking the end of an but it ends of an but I kept going back and forth because I wasn't for sure exactly how I was supposed to say the ending of it.
It sounded like a dungeon gate opened up.
How did I hear that all the way up here?
You heard that too.
Yeah, I was so confused. I was like, why do I hear like the mining dungeon thingamabobber?
Oh, I hate this so much because in between every move I make is like sending a not sugar, the screecher sound.
There are a couple nearby.
Yeah, and I hate it. Because like every step I make is making that noise. And then I hear like the soft crunch of something walking around. And I'm like, please don't let it be the warden. And it's making me hold my breath. And now I'm starting to feel dizzy because I'm not breathing. I'm just like, I don't want to be over here. I just wanted to empty out this lava so I can stop. Oh, but yeah, so I think this is correct, but I just realized what a word is. I just realized this word is probably short for something. Instead of it being like a playful nickname for something.
What's the word?
So tummy.
Tummy, stomach. Yeah.
Yeah. But for some reason I was like, oh, I was messing with Ray Ray. And I was like, oh, tum tum. And then for some reason it like clicked in my head and I'm like, tum. Stomach. I was like, wait a minute. Is tummy short for stomach? And not a nickname for stomach?
Oh then I'm gonna go back to my conversation I'm having.
Wait, what happened?
Nothing. You can continue on. I'm just gonna keep doing the wall.
There's a skeleton. I don't think he can see me, but he's looking right in my direction. And he just died. Oh. But, yeah, so I was like, how come it's not Stummy or Stum? That
That's
would
just
be,
weird.
huh?
It's just weird that I like Tummy better.
I guess that's why they took the S off, but I don't know. It was weird that it. Have you ever had a sound that you didn't know where it came from, and it happened often enough to where it drove you crazy?
The low battery on fire alarms.
That
Because
is
that's super annoying. You can't really ignore it because it's like in your place, and I'm just like.
and it's loud.
It's like no, it's just like the beeping. Like it beeps, and then it beeps again, and like it's like the repetitive beeping.
Yes, and you don't know the interval, so it always feels like it's off. And it's
Yeah,
like,
and it's like yeah, and it's the worst.
it happened to me at work. I sat in an area that I don't sit in that often, and I'm working, and then all I hear is, "Ba-doop." And I'm like, what was that? "Ba-doop." And I'm like, "Ba-doop." And I'm like, oh no, something is going off. And then I message someone, and I'm like, do you hear that sound? And they're like, yes, it's very annoying. And I'm like, "Ba-doop." And I'm like, oh no, I can't like get up and go try to find out what it is, because it's like a call center. I'm like, things just keep popping up, and I can't like go. I don't like how long this tunnel is. This tunnel is super long and like pitch black. And at the end of the tunnel, there's torches. But yeah, it's like it's just quiet, and I'm like, oh no, I'm gonna lose my mind if this keeps. And I'm like, ah. So then one of the managers walks by, and I'm like, hey, do you hear that beeping sound? It happens like every 5. And I'm like, and I can't talk, because if I talk, it drowns the sound out. So then he gets quiet, and he's like, no, I don't. And I'm like, and he didn't finish his word, and he's like, did I hear it? And he like walks over closer, and he's like, and he's like, he notices it, but then he goes back to his desk. And I'm like, no, please save me from this noise. But yeah, and I think I hate the situation that I'm in. Because like I'm already the weirdo. And now I hear this noise, and I'm like, other people, they hear it and they just don't care, or they hear it and they're like, it's not a big deal, and just go about their day. And me, I'm like, somebody fucking turn it off. Last bucket of lava poured, and I am out of here. That is 100% the deep dark over there, and I want to be as far away from it as possible.
It's not that bad.
Oh. You just popped out of nowhere.
Am I doing it right, Taco? Like,
yes.
okay. Just making sure.
Yep, yep.
This one is uneven, I think.
Oh no. Okay, so is it just on this side?
That I'm not sure.
Over here. There's three in between. Three in between. Three in between. And then this lines up. And this does not line up. Aren't they across from each other? Here? Yes. So this one's moved over. Oh, there's two here. I'm getting dizzy. Okay. If that was gone, it'd be 1, 2, 3, and it'd be here.
that is not too far away.
This is off. So if we do that there, then it'll be 1, 2, 3. Ah! If we do here, then that means that the other one will be here. And the other one will be here. This one will be here. Then it'll be here. So these line up. So this lines up with that. And then 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 4. 3.
It's too close for comfort.
3. Huh. So if I move it over, it'll make this gap 5. And then to fix the 5, I'm gonna get rid of this. Oh, I just destroyed the glass again. Damn it. Well, lost that piece of glass.
I like how we're all quiet and very like, just like doing our own thing.
Yeah. Kiki. I just learned about something recently and I was curious. Kiki!
Yes.
Do y'all buy hard copies of movies?
No. I don't think.
Do you buy
Is there
digital
even a
copies?
DVD players? And I don't even think we even have a DVD player in the house to be able to watch movies, even if we did.
Really?
I pretty sure we got rid of the one that we did have.
So y'all are
I'm wondering.
exclusively streaming?
No. Well, we don't really watch anything as a family.
Interesting.
We mainly go to if there is anything we're gonna watch as a family, we go to movie theaters, and then probably we don't ever even watch that thing again until it gets on TV.
Okay. Wow.
I remember having a portable DVD player,
Same.
and we would go to like on long trips and stuff like that, and we would use that to like for distractions and stuff. I mean, I got the physical copy of Tears of the Kingdom because I wanted a physical copy. So, and I know Blockbuster isn't a thing, but I know when I lived in Illinois, we would go to this, video slash comic book slash video game store, and we would just walk around and look at all the physical copies of stuff and stuff like that. So I'd rather have physical, but I know it's super easy. Like it's easier to have like all the streaming stuff and stuff like that. So I remember my parents had giant CDs like towers of like of music and stuff like that. So it was always like seeing that and like selecting something to play and stuff like that is always, and like having that like CD folder in the car. And just picking like music from that and stuff like that. So that was I kind of miss it, but I kind of don't, just because space wise and stuff like that. But it was always like it was something that like, oh, that it was always theirs, and now it's like not there anymore, which is kind of weird.
Yeah, so my parents also, and when I was younger, we bought movies and we bought CDs, and we had the books and we had the like shelves with a bunch of DVDs and stuff like that on there. And as of recent, because streaming is so prevalent, I think the major change happened over the pandemic. Like as far as and it's like we haven't even been to the theater we've probably been to the theater maybe twice since the pandemic.
I think the last movie I saw in the theaters was either Thor 4 or Black Adam. Both were not very good.
Yeah, we saw Black Adam on HBO Plus, I think. So, as far as buying movies, I don't buy movies unless they're like Japanese movies or something like that. I have a few of those in my collection. I buy anime, so as far as the hard copies of anything that I have, all of my anime is hard copies. And I usually get them like wait till they're like on sale, and then I just buy like in mass, like maybe once a year. But over the last couple of years, I haven't done any. But when I did, it was like a few times a year I would just buy like stacks because they'd be on like crazy discounts. The whole reason I bring it up is because I just heard that Best Buy is gonna stop carrying hard copies of movies.
Oh yeah, that's been in the news for a while.
Yeah, and I thought about it, and it's kind of like one of those restaurants where you're like, oh, that's my favorite restaurant, and they went out of business. Oh no! And it's like, when's the last time you went? And you're like, oh, I haven't been there in like 2 years. So it's the same thing, but I think this is different because it's not food. Like, I think that hard copies should stay a thing because you'll lose it.
And that's, I think, what people are arguing too, because people are getting very comfortable with streaming and like having it, but also the drawback of streaming is that companies can just get rid of stuff like when like not even like tell you, or just all right, we're moving stuff out, and that's been a problem and stuff like that. So it's like with physical you always have it, but with streaming it's like it's not, you're paying for the service but it's not yours.
Yeah.
Technically.
Like, and it's what the I just fell in a deep dark hole. That was scary. So as far as streaming, I get that the streaming service has a license to the movie, and you rent it, like you paying for the service is like getting access to what they have the licenses for. Like that was something that I always dealt with for anime, because it's like Crunchyroll will have the license to stream it, or Funimation will have the license to stream it, or they'll both have it, or High Dive will have it. So depending on what show it is, you would have to hop on to a new service if the service that you're paying for doesn't have it, or you'd be fine because everybody has a license to it. As far as live action shows and stuff like that, like Roseanne, there was a point where Roseanne was on Netflix, and I was like, cool, this is a show that my mom watched when she was my age, and the parents in this show are my age. So it's a weird like chance that I get to watch this show that was a very popular show back when I was the age of the kids, and now I get to watch it with my perspective as like being the age of the parents. So it's a really like interesting thing to do. So I was curious, like, what is this gonna feel like?
Well, it's already happening, I think.
Well, yeah. So my issue with that is they only had the first 50 episodes. I think they had like 75 episodes, and it was like 1 through 50, and then like 96 through some more episodes. And I was like, why don't they have, because it was like collection 1, collection 3, and I'm like, why don't y'all have collection 2? And I guess it was a licensing issue, like maybe a couple episodes had like some music or something like that that they couldn't get licensed, and those episodes just didn't show up, or something weird and obscure like that. And that's why I'm like, I don't have $80 to buy like it all on Blu-ray. But if I did, then that would be the solution to the problem. It was like, cool, I bought it, I have a hard copy, I can watch the entire show without having to worry about licensing issues and stuff like that. So then there's buying digital. Some people are like, oh, I just buy it on Amazon, or buy it on what was it? Vudu? I'll just buy it on Vudu. And then like 5 years later, Walmart's like, oh, we're getting rid of Vudu and we're selling it off to somebody else. And they're like, well, what about my copies of the movies? And they're like, nah, you don't have them anymore. And it's like, it's like, hey, we're not giving you your money back. So I hate like losing access to things due to licensing issues, or I hate not having access to everything because of licensing issues. So I don't know. It's like, it's frustrating that like that's the way things are headed, because right now Amazon's like doing fine, and I'm pretty sure tons of people have bought like movies and stuff. Like, I even know people who've bought, they're like, oh, this new movie came out, I'll just buy it on Amazon, just click bought it.
Well, yeah, it's easier now.
But I'm like,
I saw something about, I don't know if it's 100% true or not, of that Amazon is making Prime people pay like another fee for Amazon Prime. Like Amazon Prime movie. There we go. Or
Video?
videos or whatever.
yeah, Amazon Prime Video.
Yes. That they're making it like almost like a separate kind of thing where you have to pay an additional fee for Amazon Prime movies.
That would make sense because they did that with anime. Like when Anime Strike was a thing, Sentai Filmworks put their shows on there, and what ended up happening is like you had to pay for Amazon Prime, and then once you have Prime, now you get the privilege of paying for Amazon Strike, like Anime Strike. So it was like an additional fee on top of Prime, and you couldn't get it standalone. So it seems like they're going to be doing that with like Prime Video.
Yes.
I hate it. I hate it so much. But yeah, it's getting really like dicey as far as like owning a copy of the things that you like. Cause like,
Yeah,
even,
I'd rather have the physical copy.
well, it's like even all the games that we're getting and stuff like that. It's like, oh, like, what is it?
Game Pass.
No, because that's like Netflix. You don't really own those. It's like obviously Steam, but like the other one, that Epic. There we go. Epic. How they're like just giving out free games, and it's like, oh, I got 1,000 games that I got for free. I haven't played most of them, but then what if all of a sudden Epic like pisses off Apple again, and then they're like, you know what, we're just gonna buy you, and also all the free games, we don't do that anymore, and they just like delete your account. Like, what's gonna happen?
I think Epic is okay because they have Fortnite.
Yes, but I'm just saying, if it was a case where something were to happen to a company that you have a lot of titles under, whether they're movies or music or games and stuff like that, things can just change on a CEO's whim, and they're like, you know, it's not like, you don't own this game, you don't own this, you don't have the license for this anymore, and then all of a sudden you lose something that you paid for or not paid for in the
technically you can't lose anything that you paid for. I say this because Dead by Daylight did that when they lost the right to Stranger Things, and anybody who bought the Demigorgon as the killer or any of the survivors from Stranger Things were allowed to keep them because they paid money for them. But once that contract with Stranger Things ended, nobody else after that day could buy said survivors or killers.
Yes, because those assets are still in the game. What if Dead by Daylight just closed shop?
Then that's different. Then that's the same thing with what is that? Friday the 13th, I think, ends services the end of this year, I think, or maybe it might be May. It might be halfway through the year.
Yeah.
And I know there's like skins in that you pay for that you're basically going to lose because of the fact that they're not gonna have any servers to play the game on.
Yeah. So it's the case just like a hard copy movie, game, or music or something like that, where it's like the company shuts down and then you don't have it anymore. Like the whole reason why I will not like go all in on Spotify is because I want the actual file. Like the whole reason why, like every so often I'll go get an Apple iTunes card and get the thing, even though they keep trying to push me into to the Apple Music Plus. I'm like, no, because if you decide to change things up and you're like, you know what, we're not doing this anymore, then there goes all that money I spent on all that subscription. So yeah, there's like two things that I'm sticking to my guns for, about, and that's music and it's anime. It's like there is no hard copy for music. As far as it's like I'm a hybrid for that. It's like I want my digital file, because I can back that up myself. I won't buy the CD because there's a whole thing about CDs where it's like, do you want 10 songs you don't like so you can have the 4 songs you do? But as far as movies and anime and stuff like that, it's like I'm gonna be sad that Best Buy, like, Fry's already disappeared, and there was a big selection of anime that they had that I can't get anymore. And then I was like, cool, well, Best Buy is just gonna take over the helm. And then Best Buy is like, we're not gonna do that either. And then it's like, who's left? Walmart? And then Walmart's like, well, if Best Buy got rid of hard copy movies, then we're gonna do the same thing. And it sucks. Because like even what's happening on TikTok right now, how Universal and them are
Oh
feuding.
yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I was just about to say that. Yeah, they got rid of a bunch of music.
Yeah, and they're just like, no.
I'm pretty sure they've already came to an agreement after that. That didn't last long.
But it's still a thing that can happen. Like even on cable, they do the same thing. Like, and it's only been like the like I guess before around the pandemic, whatever that time was, like in recent years. You're like, oh, let me go to this one channel, and then you go to that channel, and they're like, this channel doesn't work because we're fighting with Time Warner, and it's like, what? Why are you like? How come I don't have channel 17 now because y'all are fighting over money? Like it's so it's like let me just buy a hard copy and I can watch it whenever I want. What is this.
Yeah, that's
game.
why I got the physical copy of Tears of the Kingdom, just in case. Nintendo will probably never do that, but like just in case like it goes away, and I just want the physical copy. So
They 100% will do that, and then they'll get rid of it and then sell it to you again on their new
yeah,
device.
Switch 2.
Yes, or Super Switch, which that should be the name. But yeah, it's
Oh yeah, I'm sure they'll sell it to me like in another like area, but I was thinking like, oh, they're never gonna get rid of it. That's like they're definitely gonna do a different like platform, but not like get rid of it in its entirety.
yes. But it's like, why do I have to keep buying this game 7 times? It's like I buy it once and let me play it on the same thing.
That's how, well, like Skyrim. It's like everyone buys Skyrim on like a different thing, and I'm just like, why?
It's like I can't play it on my fridge anymore. I guess I'm gonna have to buy it for my like cell phone. Yeah, it's like the whole like when I heard about that like the other day, I was like, no. And it's like I don't buy. I did, like probably 10 years ago. I bought anime from Best Buy, and then I started buying it from Fry's, and then I started buying it online, and now. And the thing that sucks is like I used to buy it from Funimation. Then Sony bought them, and then I was like, cool, I buy from fancier Funimation. And then I used to also buy it from Right Stuff. And then Crunchyroll was like, come here, Right Stuff, and Crunchyroll bought Funimation and bought Right Stuff. And now it's the Crunchyroll store. And then I was like, cool. So there's the Crunchyroll store, there's Funimation, there's Sentai Filmworks, and there's yeah, those were the 3. And then it's like now Funimation, the Crunchyroll store, and Right Stuff have been all combined into this like one mega shop. So now there's only the Crunchyroll store and Sentai Filmworks. And I'm like, I hate that everything's being consolidated. Because it's like, for the people who are into like ecchi stuff and things like that, you could get it on Right Stuff. But ever since Crunchyroll bought it, they're like, no, this is a clean shop. And they got rid of that entire category. And it's like, well, where do you go? Because that was the only place that the only place that I knew that had it. There may be other places, I don't know, but it's like one giant company's just like decided to like, nah, this is only clean stuff, and it just upends all of these different products. And it's like, I hope Best Buy keeps hard copies of movies and stuff like that around, because if they go, then the other big stores are not going to be far after. And
Isn't it already happening? Kind of.
it's happening, and I don't like it at all. And it's like, yes, I can't really say anything because I don't buy hard copies that often. And it's kind of like the whole point of why it's happening. But that shouldn't be the reason to set up a system where things can be lost forever.
Well, look at Looney Tunes versus Acme or whatever, the animated movie and stuff like that. Like, it's not being, they made it and it's ready to go, but it's currently locked away in a vault and they're threatening to delete it, or they've already deleted it and stuff like that. So it's like this whole thing about that.
That movie should have come out in theaters. It should have come out on Blu-ray, and then it also should have been available on streaming. And then that way, everybody has a fair chance to have it in whatever form that they want. And because of the way things are moving, it's a digital file that probably won't ever see the light of day. And I think that's a shame.
It is. It's a huge shame.
Kiki, are you still here?
Yeah, I'm here, but I'm industry.
Okay.
So I'm about to head out.
All right, yeah, I was about to say bye, Kiki.
Yeet. I am off YouTube.
Have a good night.
Did you
YouTube.
Did you have any final thoughts on the whole digital thing?
No, I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't listening.
Oh, okay. All right.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. Once I reach the wall, I'll head out as well. We're almost there.
Yeah, I've right now I gotta sign into this thing.
I'm almost done with this side, so if you wanna come and see, I think I did it right.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how it's supposed to go because it's all kind of weird. Okay, those are set up. And then this day. And refresh. It's too far out. Good. Alright. Yeah, it makes me sad. And it's like every time something like that happens, it makes me like go back to the websites where I get my like stuff from, and I'm like, yeah, I have a sale going on right now. I don't have any money, but
Are you
just-
going pirate hunting, or what was it? Selling the high seas?
So my stance with that is if it's what is it? If it's prohibitively expensive or prohibitively difficult to get the things legally, then I have no problem with people trying to get it easily. It's going full circle. Before, the only way you were able to get the only way you were able to get any shows before where somebody had to have connections across the ocean. Like for anime, somebody had to have connections across the ocean to be able to get things sent to their shop, and you had to and that was the only place you could get it. More and more people started doing that, which built up a demand, and then because Netflix has the whole streaming thing going, people made deals, and now you can actually stream those shows online, and you had access to them. What's happening now is a lot of people did that, and it became a huge industry. And then now the biggest companies in the world are basically consolidating everything because it's either difficult to run and those businesses were going to go out of those companies were going to go out of business, or they're buying everybody up to get rid of competition. But basically what that leads to is a monopoly.
Yep.
Or duopoly.
That's what Disney is kind of doing with everything.
And what that ends up causing is less innovation. So the companies are like, why spend the R&D to do something new, or even get rid of categories. There's ecchi shows out there because people like ecchi shows.
I
But
don't know what that is.
huh?
I don't know what that is.
basically the stereotypical idea of what some people think anime is.
Yep, I got it.
Is um so it's so then the big companies, like, they make the decision. It's like, we don't want ecchi stuff on our store, so let's cut all that off. And it's like they bought the store that was half clean, half ecchi. And it's like now they just get rid of a whole category. And if it's like
Left side of the wall is done.
cool. And for me, I'm like, what if it's like I love all the shows with strawberries in it. I like shows that have strawberry characters. I have the shows that have strawberry houses. I like all the strawberry stuff. And then big old corporation comes in and like, we're not doing strawberries anymore. Get rid of all the strawberries. And it's like, then what am I gonna watch then? How am I gonna be able to get? They're still making the strawberry shows over in the other country, but now because big corporation came in and like said no more strawberries, now I don't have. Like, I used to be able to pay $7 a month to watch all my strawberry stuff, and now the company is like, no, we don't do that anymore. What am I supposed to do? It's like I have no choice but to sail the high seas. It's like 15 years ago, the only way I had access to the shows were sailing the high seas. And then there became a streaming alternative. And it's like, cool. Instead of doing all this other work to get these shows, now I could just pay $7 and give to the company who actually made it. So it's going in a big circle. It went from zero access to shows to some access to shows to access to everything to consolidated access to expensive access to your category might get deleted to back to sailing the high seas again. It's not cool, because the people that end up losing out in the end are the people who make the stuff and the people who watch the stuff.
But Taco, think of the shareholders.
I'm in a weird spot as far as shareholders, because technically I am a shareholder. And every so often I get an email saying, here's a penny. So it's like, I get why people talk about that. Because it's like, if I had enough money, then yeah, I'd buy enough shares to where I could make a living off of these companies that are doing well. I get that. And there's whole things where it's like, I sometimes I get emailed and they're like, hey, you want to vote on this whole decision we're making? And I'm like, no. I guess I'm in a position where I could like make a point 0.0000 something % of a change, but it's weird. But yeah, it's like, so as far as like shareholders and stuff like that, I'm in a weird like spot with that, because technically I am one. And if there was a decision where they're like, hey, should we consolidate? I can like say no, and I don't know how many people say no, but I feel like I'd be like a 0.0001% affect the change. But my whole thing, and it's weird because it's like, if you're invested in the company, you want the company to make more money, and it's like, it's weird because let's say I'm a shareholder of Crunchyroll, or something like that, and it's like this other company comes in and buys it, so now I'm a shareholder of Sony, and it's like, I bought shares of Crunchyroll, I didn't buy shares of Sony. We're like, well, now you're a Sony shareholder, and how many people want us to like get rid of Funimation? And I'm like, no, don't do that. You need to have competition. You're like, why are we competing against ourselves? That'll make us less money. And it's like, No, because I'm also a viewer and I'm a subscriber of this company. So on one hand, I'm like, yes, company, make more money so I can make dividends. But then on the other hand, I'm like, hey, don't fuck up the product because I used the product. And it's weird because then, like, as a viewer, it's like I have to have both subscriptions because one shows on Funimation and one shows on Crunchyroll, and it's like, and then even outside of the streaming stuff too, it's like also it's like Funimation sells DVDs of some shows, and then Crunchyroll has Crunchyroll Originals where you only can buy the hard copy of that show through Crunchyroll. So there's all these different points and everything, but then it's like, I don't want you to consolidate. It's like, yes, that'll save me a subscription fee because I only have to pay one, but then you're going to raise the price anyway. So it's like, I don't want to pay more. I was paying double and now you made it triple, and you got rid of half the stuff I like. So it's like,
You're going in the opposite direction of what I want you to do.
yeah. And then they're like, but guess what? Instead of you getting a penny, now you're getting 3 pennies. And I'm like, that's good for me being a shareholder, but I'm upset because I can't watch my show now. So it's and they're like, oh, we're getting rid of all hard copies of movies. And it's like, stop doing that. And they're like, guess what? We're giving you 6 pennies now. And it's like, that's
Thank you.
not
But also,
that's not what I want. It was like, I kept voting no, and y'all just ignored me. And gave me 6 pennies. It was like, I hate it. I hate it so much. And they're like, anime didn't work out. Let's shut it all down. And it's like, why
you didn't even give it a chance.
Why? Like, you made all the wrong decisions. Yes, you gave me $6,000, but what? $6,000 to me is not gonna save my anime. Thanks for ruining it. So yeah, it's such a tricky situation. But yeah, and then it's also weird. It's also weird because, let's say, cool, if Walmart is not, the thing is like, how big of a decision, how big of an effect will it be if Best Buy stops selling it, Walmart stops selling it, Target stops selling it? Does that mean that they're not going to print hard copies of movies anymore? Because, like, where are you going to get them?
The mom and pop stores, maybe.
Yeah, and
They
like,
finally, maybe everyone's gonna be disgruntled with all the major companies doing all these things, but the mom and pop stores have everything and be like, oh look, we have it for the fraction of the price, and we're much cooler than everyone else.
well, even you wouldn't have to have it at a fraction of the price. You're like, we have it, nobody else does.
Yeah, that's true.
And then that's weird because it's like, what if I do that? What if I pick up where, like, Funimation ends and like, oh, we don't do hard copies anymore, and it's like, well, those companies still sell the DVDs and stuff like that. So what if I make like an online shop or something like that, and I still have the shows? It's weird because it's like, how long is that industry gonna last? It's like, is your online shop gonna be the one thing holding up this whole industry of printing DVDs? It's like, do you have influence to where you can kind of keep hope alive with hard copies of stuff?
It's a tricky situation.
Yeah, I've been thinking about it over like the last little bit, and I'm like, it's very, very tricky. I don't even know what really to think about it other than for now, it's like I need to prioritize getting the shows that I can still get while I can get them. Because as far as releases go, there's like 30. Let's say there's like 20 to 40 new shows coming out every season. And and it's like maybe they all have hard copies. And it's like or let's say like the top 10. So it's like every 3 months 10 new Blu-rays come out. So it's like 40 Blu-rays a year. And then they're out for a couple years and then they go out of print. And it's like, I'm not getting any of those. And that's just a low estimate. I don't know how many hard copies of stuff per season like actually come out. I haven't followed it that closely. Because I buy stuff on the discount. I don't buy it when it first comes out and it's like, this new show that just finished airing. $59 for the show. And I'm like, no. I will wait 2 years for it to be on sale for $5.99 or $9.99, depending on how good or long the show is. And then it's like, cool, it's the Easter sale. And I'm like, cool, let me get a stack of like 30 shows. And I'm like, cool, now I add to my collection. But it's crazy. And then it's like 20 years from now, I could just dust off my Blu-ray player if it still works, and then plug it in and hook it up to whatever display technology we have then. And then I could still watch my show because Sony discontinued discontinued Crunchyroll, and now nobody can watch anime anymore except me, who has a hard copy. So it's like, it's a weird spot. It's like really bugging me.
Yeah, or what?
So, as far as me, basically having the shows that I like the most in my collection, the one thing the two problems that I had were funds to buy them, and the shows becoming out of print before I could get the money for it. And then sometimes it was availability, because some shows it's like, oh my god, this show is so amazing, and then two things that will immediately stop me is if what was that? There's this one Aniplex. It's either if it's an Aniplex show, which means their business model is selling the most premium beautiful box set. And it's like, okay, cool. How much is that? $300. And it's like,
No, thank you.
no, I can't. I absolutely love this show. It's beautiful. The product that you just
I love
made,
the show, but not that much.
yeah, it's like, I love the show. The product you made is absolutely gorgeous, but I'm not spending $300 on that. Or you go the Funimation approach, and they're like, we got the bare minimum, $15, and you get the whole show. And I'm like, absolutely. So yeah. So for me, I'm like, whenever the sale comes out, and I'm like, do I have some money? I'm like, yeah, I got like And it's like, how many shows can I get for $50? And it's like 5. And I'm like, cool, add to my collection. That was my problem before. Now my problem is there's no more Funimation store. There's no more Right Stuff. There's only Crunchyroll store. And I don't know the prices from the Crunchyroll store because I've never bought from the Crunchyroll store. They didn't have the sales that Right Stuff and Funimation had. And as far as I could tell, they don't have the prices that Sentai Filmworks has. So I don't know if I would buy from my only alternative. But yeah, it's tricky. Like, I want to make it a point to like start adding to my collection again this year, because the more I don't pay attention, the more things get consolidated and like risk being lost forever. And it sucks because Sentai is like, they were the people who rescued a lot of stuff. Like, a lot of the shows when Toonami was around, like Tenchi was produced by Genion, I think. And then Genion was about to go out of business. And then there's like a couple other companies that were about to, let's see, Genion, Something Works, and like there was another one. And like Sentai just swooped in and bought them all up and saved them. And like they bought them up in the best way. Like, they're like, you're about to go out of business and all these shows are about to be lost. Come on over here and let's keep doing what you're already doing. We're not going to buy it up and be like, now this is a Sentai Filmworks like production. They're like, no. This is a Genion show. And Genion is now on Blu-ray. Like, that's how you do it. God, I wish Sony would have just bought them both and just left them alone.
Fortunately, that's not how it went.
God, it sucks. But yeah. It's like I'm less dizzy because I'm not searching for anything and I've solved the problem, or I have an approach to solve the problem. I have what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more columns to get through, and then I'll know if anything needs to be modified after that. But yeah.
1 second. All right. I will end it here as well. Let's see who is online today. Doesn't look like anyone is online, or not a lot of people are online. Oh, Gamers on our End is online. He's playing some Banishers. Right. Let's wait for the ad.
I need lanterns.
All right, everyone. I am the Traveling Wanderer. With me today was Takagaki and Kiki. You're all wonderful, you're all 1 million, and you're all one of a kind. I'll be on probably tomorrow or Thursday, or Friday. Tomorrow or Friday, we'll see how it goes. But yes, I'll see you all when I see you. Bye-bye. Wait, hang on. Oh, did I not record? Oh, well.
Oh no.
That's okay.
I hate that. Download. I'm all looking at my stuff and I'm like, everything's turned on, right? Yeah.
I can just download it off of Twitch, right? And
Yes. Yes.
yeah.
Yep. All right, Juan. Well, you have yourself a good night.
You as well.
And yeah, I will see you next time.
And I'll keep you updated if anything interesting happens with the PA stuff.
Yeah. I'm curious to see what all happens.
Yeah, I'll see you later.
All right. Night.
Have a good night.
Alright. That is it for today's episode of Minecraft Power Hour. We'll be back tomorrow for some Overcooked. We are very, very close to finishing this game. And, yeah. As always, this is DK for Takoyaki Gaming. Today with me was Geeks the Beast and the Traveling Wanderer. And as always, thank you for watching. Oh my god. Ugh. Thanks for hanging out in chat. Thanks for supporting the channel in any way that you do. And I'm going to see y'all next time.